Okay, here we go again. First, let us make sure that the microphone is actually working. All right, well, good morning from Norway. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear this. Oh God, I hope this hasn't been muted. Oh, thank God. All right, so back with this. I have no idea if you were watching the first part of this stream, but I stalled out on the fact that this stupid code isn't working the way I want it to, and it should be. And there's literally nothing wrong with the code that I can see. So the first thing that I do in situations like that is I move things around to make sure that it's not some sort of weird ordering thing. And also do this. Make sure that, yeah, that's no error there. So let's see. Even this should work. Replacing something that's already been produced by something else. Say so. I mean, I've already determined that these basic substitutions are working. So this first set is working just fine. And you can actually see that fairly simply here. Not in this one. Here we go. Not that big. So here's what happens when you press B. Nothing happens at all because whatever is assigned to the character B right now is blank. But if I turn the features on, suddenly something appears, because when you press B, it's supposed to be automatically replaced with this thing. And maybe that's the issue, because that one's coming first. Maybe there's no B left. Usually it doesn't work like that, but maybe that's the issue. Just one thing. So, but the thing is, this one should, well, okay, but it's not producing that. All right. So we're going to do this with these guys. All letters. And we're going to do this. Well, let's do them both. Let's do them both. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's stupid. So here we go. Just going to do the first few of these. If this turns out to be the answer, I'll do a quicker way to replace them all. Okay. Now that's for the final one. If it produces the final one, then that one should work as well. The medial should work as well. All right, let's give it a shot. Pardon me. Okay. Let's just go from big to small like that. Okay. Good. Now, B. Eureka. Okay, but now why isn't the medial working? Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I'm seeing that question about both with an L. I've always said it. I don't know why. Just sounded like it should be there. And there isn't a lot, there aren't a lot of things that end with that oath sound. I guess oath, quoth, that's about it. Um, oath, quoth. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. Anyway, but the idea is there's not a lot, there's not enough there to gainsay it, and it's not acoustically different enough that anybody cares when you say it to like fix it for you. So it just doesn't get changed. Um, I was I was actually interviewed by somebody who did a podcast on people who pronounce both with an L. So you should look that up. I can't remember who it was, but should be interesting. It's not uncommon for people to take a phonology exam up to 12 times. Good Lord. That sounds like a fault of the teacher or the exam maker. That's ridiculous. Okay. Oh, by the way, for those that were watching last time, Juliette said she preferred the curved L. So we're going to do that. Okay. Anyway, so this appeared, this did not. Let's try to figure out why. I'm going to try something. And if it works, I'm going to be mad. It shouldn't work, but I'm going to try it anyway. See if it does. And now it's huge. Make up your mind. Okay. Okay. Well, at least it didn't work. It didn't work because it shouldn't have worked. Oh no. Oh, that's no good. Huh. It's only working, it's working like an initial one. That's not good. Okay. All right. That's all right. That's something. That's something. Let's see. Yeah, because that, I mean, that should work, but let's do this again. Let's try that. Okay. Now, Show me initial. Yes. Yes. All right, so we got our standalone. We've got our initial. We have our final. We don't have our medial. Why isn't the goddamn medial working? This doesn't make any sense. See, I'm turning it to a final, and a final should be turned into a medial when any character follows it. That's what the code says. It's not working. That is perplexing. Well, let's go ahead and fix them all. So at least we're working with the same variables. So to do this, I'm just going to pop this into what you call it, text edit. Hey, Rizada. Hey, man. What are you doing up? I'm allowed to be up because I can go to sleep whenever I want. You at school. All right. So the first thing I need to do is this one, the initials. So this on the left. Oh my God, you have class at 9 in the morning and it's 1:47 a.m.? What is your problem? First of all, why do you have class at 9 in the morning? Did I teach you nothing? Oh my goodness. Got time. I need exactly 7.5 hours of sleep every single night, or I go absolutely bananas. All right, we're gonna change me Varin to in Varin. That should do that. Morning classes are required for the linguistics major. Not when I was there. I never took a single morning class as a linguistics major, not one. Things have changed. Okay, and now I need this. Okay, hold on a sec. All right, wait. So I'm doing final ones now. Okay, so then the ones on the right, Varin, 5 Varin, and it's By the way, I don't know if you know this or if it's been announced, I'm coming up to Berkeley on April 17th. I think it's the 17th. It's a Wednesday. So be there or else. Let me get you. There. But this, for that, yeah, that's what it should be. Yeah, I'm giving a talk on the 17th at Slug. I'm also going to be at, what's it, TEDx at Berkeley on March 9th, which is a Saturday. If you wanted to go to that, I have discount codes I'm supposed to share. It's like speaker something. All right. Okay. Now let's see if that fixes all my problems. Come on. All right. That's the initial. Good. That's the final. And that's not the medial. God damn it. Why am I not getting the medial form? This is so annoying to me. I'll give this some thought. Speaker network. Okay, my little thing isn't streaming anymore. So hopefully that works. Anyway, the discount code, if you happen to want to go to TEDx Berkeley on March 9th, is I don't know if the caps matter, but it's all caps, speaker-network, no spaces. I guess you just, do the whole thing like you're buying tickets, and when they ask you for a code, you put in that, and it's a 35% discount, which, I don't know. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. All right. So, I should just write this down someday so I know exactly how to do these final forms, or the medial, or whatever. Having this change to this before this. That should work, but it's not working. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in more context, even though it shouldn't be necessary. It shouldn't be necessary. Let's give it a shot. Wait, yeah, that's all I need, right? Yeah, there we go. Now it's just dripping in context. Freud, where are you from? All right, let's see if that works. Croatia. That's where they filmed a lot of Game of Thrones. It would seem obvious to me that if there's some sort of a university near you, and they have some sort of a language department, that, you know, you could just tell them I exist and would come speak at the university in Croatia for, you know, travel. I won't pay to get there, but you've got to be kidding me. That doesn't work. Are you kidding me? Urge to kill rising. Not much happening in Norway. You have the University of, I always screw this up. Is it Tromsø or is it Tromsø? So, I forget which one has the slash in it. But you have that university that has a language or linguistics department. And not only that, I believe that they have a yearly, they have that film festival, right? They have a language department there. I've actually met a Tromsø, there you go. I've met a professor from there, and I told that professor that I would come and give a talk if they would invite me, but I don't know. In fact, to tie this in, a former student from my class, my Conlang class at UC Berkeley, Raizada's former classmate, is now in the linguistics department at the University of Tromsø. So, like, it should be a slam dunk. Well, probably better off living in Oslo. But it's probably not as cold. Shoot, what's Dash Stevens is at Tromsø, Raizada, just in case you were curious. He's a grad student. Yeah, that would be Dash, yeah. You probably know that. I don't know, you probably are friends on Facebook. Okay, back to this. Come on. So it doesn't like this. Oh, that's cool. Doesn't. I'm gonna do something. This should not work. This absolutely 100% should not work. But I'm gonna try it. That's good enough. Well, not warm, but warmer. All right. All right, you bastard. You better work this time. Stop making a fool of me. Okay? Okay? Oh my God. No, why would it work? Why would it work? So I'm guessing what it's having problems with is the double switch. These are all this. Oh great, my daughter's awake asking for mama. Of course she is. Why sleep through the night in your comfy, comfy bed when you can wake everybody up screaming? She's so cute, though. There's no reason this shouldn't work. So, AME Varin, AME Varin. It's spelled right. Oh, hey. Hello, Sweden. Never been to Sweden. I hear there's universities there. Somebody could invite me. No, the B isn't supposed to change. The B is just there. The only one I'm testing right now is A. And these are just dummy forms, by the way. So this A is what it's supposed to look like when the A is standing alone. That's what it's actually supposed to look like when it's standing alone, the two dots. This is a totally different character I threw on because it's supposed to have a unique final form. I just haven't done it yet. And that one's currently appearing correctly. This is what it's supposed to look when it's beginning a word. Or what it's supposed to look like when it's beginning a word. Again, that's not the correct form, but it's just something different, so I know it's working. So the final is working, the initial is working, the standalone is working, and this is again another dummy form. This is what it's supposed to look like in between two vowels. And I'm just testing these to make sure that the code works. And right now the code is not working. So what I've done here is this code always operates from top to bottom. It cycles through. First thing that we're doing is anytime you type in a character or a series of characters, it returns the standalone value. So like these ones that are actually A, B, C, D, they do nothing in this font. They're just little placeholders. It's like essentially I built in a keyboard layout into the font. So the basic form is going to be the standalone form, and that's working fine. When it occurs after a letter, it changes it from its standalone form to its final form, and that's working. Initially, if it's followed by some sort of letter, it changes it from its standalone form to its final form. I'm sorry, standalone form to its initial form. Like if this were the standalone form, you'd see why it wouldn't work, because it's operating on the same environment with the same variable. But this is a different variable in the same environment. The failsafe, I don't want to do it this way because it's going to force me to use space as a character. I don't know if you can hear that. Meridian is carrying on and on. Anyway, so the obvious thing to do here is if I can get this final form no matter what, and I'm having a hard time changing it, then what I should do is change the final form to the medial form, and then change this like medial form. In other words, put the final form last, and have the final form only occur when it's followed by a space. The thing is, I really didn't want to do that. I really don't like putting a space into the code, especially because then it's hard to just show off the final form. But if I'm not going to get it any other way, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to change those to medial. We'll change the medial to final. I hate doing this way. Let's copy all these and put it in here. We're going to change Varin to me Varin. And okay. And now we're going to change this code radically. Final. So I'm not sure if I have to operate on the medial ones or not. But we're going to change this to just substitute, because we don't need that extra context anymore. And then we're going to change this to space. I hate to do this. And, oh crap. We're going to change phi Varin to x Varin in between variable. And we're going to change me Varin to phi Varin. And now we're going to change x Varin to, we're going to try me Varin. If that doesn't work, we have to do SA. This should work. I mean, theoretically. Yeah, I know. Go ahead, create stupid space character. Now I gotta figure out how long a space is gonna be. 260? That doesn't seem big enough. Let's do 400. Yeah, let's do 500. All right. There, space is 500 characters, or 500 pixels wide. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try this again. Now we're gonna see something different this time, because again, I swapped the medial and final syntax. Oh, well, hello from Taiwan. Former grad colleague of mine in grad school is from Taiwan. Too. I hope he's doing all right. After getting his master's, he decided it was a mistake to come to the United States. Okay, so we got standalone form good, initial form good, final form, that is what it's supposed to look like, and hopefully this is going to turn this into that L for our medial form. Wait. Oh no, wait, that's the medial form. That should, God damn it, are you serious? Why isn't this working? Oh my God. All right. Okay, okay, all right. You want to play ball? Let's play. Hold on a minute. So, what else can we do other than space? Let's do bar. Where's bar? Oh, I have something on bar. Well, that's convenient. Let's go ahead and we're going to change space. Oh, wait, no, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's do this first. This shouldn't work. Wait, which one do I want to do first? No, I'm going to do this one first. Change space, space bar. The brackets mean that the change will happen before either of those two characters. So either the space character or the bar character. It is a total and complete coincidence that space bar is a synonym for space, or space is a synonym for space bar on the keyboard. That's totally unrelated. They're two different characters. It's the line that goes straight up and down. All right. Yep, compile, default. Okay. All right. A, B, A space nothing bar nothing. You want to play? Let's play. I wouldn't. Notum asks me, is it difficult making characters look consistent across a font? I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult. It is crucial. It is like vital. And so that's why creating minimal elements and copying and pasting is crucial, so that the thing actually looks like it all comes from the same thing. So we're going to try this. It shouldn't work. If this universe makes sense, this shouldn't work. Kindle, that's not true. You're thinking of an epenthetic sound, but that's just not true. Or like what that is, it's like the epenthetic P in Thompson, where Thompson is it's Tom's son, right? And you're going from M to S. And so the thing is, you're going from a voiced consonant to a voiceless consonant, and you're also moving from a nasal, bilabial nasal to a voiceless fricative. And so there's an intermediary step where what happens is you've devoiced, but your lips are still closed and are in the stop position, and then you release it to go to the S. And so the natural result is a P. That's why you get the P in Thompson, and other things like the T in Prince, things like that. In this case, though, is just naturally in the L position. It isn't. It isn't at all. In fact, not only is it not, but it's not even that type of L. It's a dark L. It's the L in the back of the throat. And if anything, that should happen in Booth, because at least with Booth, your tongue is near the velum, right? Because that's where that dark L is. It's near the velum. And so it makes sense if you went from Booth to Both, but it doesn't happen ever. It only happens with the O, both or both. And I really think that it's just a case that it's acoustically close enough that nobody cares to tell people to do it, not to do it. So it's just retained. Kids do plenty of things like that, pronounce things in funny ways. They just usually are, kind of ridiculed out of them because people notice them. Sometimes they just slip past your notice. Like, for example, a friend of mine that pronounces all of his velars as uvulars. It was much more pronounced when he was a kid. He does it less now, but he still does it. It's because, I don't know why. It's just a random thing that happened, but it carries on because it's just not that important. So his name is Scott, and he actually will pronounce it Scott. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. Monolingual English speaker, had no contact with any language with uvular stops. He just always happens to have done it. Okay, A, B, A, B. Not working. Not working. Why would it work? Why would it work? So infuriating. I'll change these back because at least that makes sense. I really thought that was going to do it. Hey, Malaysia. Um, the for fonts, Arabic ligatures are built in. You don't need to worry about them. Um, Most font programs have like all the stuff that you'd need for natural languages or natural writing systems. They have that all built in. So fonters don't even need to worry about it. They just need to drop things on Unicode code points, and the font program takes care of the rest. Just need to like press a little thing in the. Speaking of which, I don't think I've done that yet. Yeah, let's change this to units per M1000. Well, at least let's change this. The X height is now 750. Or at least that's where I want that. Let's do that. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. And this. Yeah. I mean, I doubt that'll fix anything, but let's just do it. A, B, A. What? What? Wait. Okay, right. It worked so well before. All right, so here's the thing. I had this working with space in a font I've done very recently on a show I'm working on that's still covered by an NDA because it hasn't premiered yet. I want to check that font to see if there's just some slight variation in the code. No, God, no, not kerning. That would fix this. It's just something that I did wrong, but I can't show you that. Can I mute my screen? Will it just stop recording? Like, is there a mute screen button? Eh. Holy crap. What happened? Okay. Give me just 1 second. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, so what I did in that other one was I did what I did the first time, or what I had the first time, which was it was the final forms, and then adding a character after, change it to the medial form. I already did that, and this wasn't working. It was really frustrating. This probably won't make a difference. Let's put it right after. Oh. Anyway, so for lots of these shows that I work on, like, they probably don't care about the type of stuff, like, language stuff that I would be showing, like, a font or something. But I mean, the truth of the matter is I'm extremely low on the totem pole. So less they, less they hear about me, or in the news, the better. Until the show airs, then I can do all that stuff. All right, I'm gonna go back to try to rethink this. I do want this final form to appear. Let's try to. Oh, can you do that? Shoot. I'm gonna try something here. Okay. I want to see if you can substitute like a series of things. Okay. Sorry, so right now I'm just looking up if I can throw an apostrophe after a range. I'm not sure if you can do that. It looks like you can. I could do ignore sub. Yeah, that's actually me. Hey, how's it going? Um, it is relatively straightforward to get a publisher to print a book with a custom font for a conlang, yes, provided that it doesn't go right to left or doesn't do funky things. Um, for my book, most of the time I just did images anyway because I didn't want to share the fonts with them. What's the other one? Yeah, copy the code and change the variables. Yeah, I'm gonna do something different. So I have a couple of things that I'm gonna try. Oh, and if you were saying, shouldn't it be space with things around it? No. So the code here, these brackets, say change this to this when it comes before anything inside the brackets. Space is the name of an actual character, that one, and bar is the name of this character. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say change anything here. Anything. So a sovereign, a in Varin to space, and then I'm going to do this too. This is a program called FontLab 6, and I really like it, despite the fact that it's causes problems. Any program will, but I've been using this or some variant of it for many years now. Font creation software is extremely expensive, as you probably know. So in 2001, no, maybe it was 2002, when I started conlanging, I wanted to make a font, and I looked around, saw that there were a lot of expensive options for Mac or cheap options that were complicated, because I use a Mac, not a Windows machine. And then I saw that one of the companies that was selling very expensive font software, Font Lab, sold a reduced version for $90. And that was called Type Tool. It couldn't do a lot of things, but it did enough for what I wanted to do at the time. Okay, so that's not working. Yeah, not even that, really? Okay, so now this is now we're going crazy commando on this. Okay, can I? No, it's not gonna work. Okay. Okay. I'm going to actually need to look up the syntax of this. Make sure I don't screw it up. I'm going to use the ignore substitutions. Syntax as a kind of solution. Oh yeah, professionally, I mean, that was 2002. I didn't start creating languages professionally until 2009, and didn't get a chance to create a font professionally until 2011. But yeah, I started with Type Tool, and then I got Font Lab because somebody introduced me to torrenting. I managed to get one for free, and I used that for some time. But then I felt bad about it, and so I eventually bought it, and then I've been upgrading ever since. Okay, now ignore sub. I don't know. You can go to the website. I think FontLab is like $600. It's ridiculous. Then there's like a special one for if you want to make, it's called Asian fonts, but it really, of course, means Chinese. And that one's like $2,000. Yeah, $459. All right. So I'm going to try this. All right, we're gonna give this a shot. Okay. What? What's wrong? Oh, I'm stupid. Right. You can always use FontStruct. FontStruct is just a web-based font creation program, and it's free. You're not going to be able to do stuff like this, but you don't necessarily need to do stuff like this. All right, so if this works, it's not going to fix the problem, but it'll be a start to a potential fix to the problem. Okay. Oh, features A, B, A. Ah. Okay. See what's happening? So I told it to ignore the substitute when it comes before a space. So if that is the case, we can do this for all of these. And let's probably going to need to get rid of the final eventually. But let's see if we can do this quick somehow. All right. Yeah, I've heard of FontForge. I tried to use it and I hated it. Of course, that was back in 2002. Maybe it's better now. But isn't FontForge free? Yeah, it's also for Windows, right? Okay. J K L M N O P R S H S T H T U B W Y Z. All right. Okay, compile, that all works. Hopefully I got all the letters right. Okay, now I think I need to go back and do this. Okay, now I need to change the standalone forms to the final forms, and we need to do something fancy for the standalone forms. Oh. And of course, those are all going to have to change as well. And so are these. Because now the basic has become the final form, and the standalone form has become the unusual one. And so we also have to change these. Okay. Now the question is, how do we get these standalone forms? And it's ignore substitute before a space. Oh my god. Okay. So now I need to go and take all of these. Oh, I already had that. Okay, so. Oh shit, but I have to do it different because these are just the letters. Oh my god. First of all, let's make sure this is doing what it's supposed to be doing so that I'm not doing something dumb. All right. Okay. So yeah, final form is what we should be getting. This should change it to initial. It does. This should be medial. That should be final. Okay, good. So now what we need to do is that. So a final space. Basically, if the thing is surrounded by spaces, it needs to be standalone. All right, so at least it's working properly for right now. So I think that means I am going to have to, I'm going to have to put in ignore sub space bar, a. A. Oops. B. All right, so we're just gonna check to make sure this works before we go full bore. A, B, A. Good, that works. No, that's not supposed to. I said ignore. Well, I guess what should it have done otherwise? And then okay, I don't think that's correct, but I'm going to throw in something else there too. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Kakikori. That was the point, so it's always nice to hear. Thank you. For Notum's question, yes. In this case, this is far future, so this is supposed to be a digital font. Also, of course, this isn't my writing system. This is somebody else's. But even so, like it's so far future, it doesn't matter. Okay, what do I think I just did? Okay, that worked. Okay, that worked, but which thing worked? Why did I do more than one thing? Okay. Wow. Okay. That worked. The easy thing worked, not the hard thing. The hard thing was fine. Oh my God. This actually worked. Okay. We should be done. Thank God. I mean, we're not done, of course, but because I'll need to do the rest of those. But, you know, yeah, yes. To double check. Here we go. One more time for all the marbles. Okay. B, A. Good. Good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Take that. beat you. I beat you. So this is what worked. Our basic form is now the final form. We tell it from the outset to ignore all substitutions when the first character before these guys is a space or the bar character. That bar character is just there. I throw it in as a dummy character so that I can always illustrate what all the forms are of various things. Anyway, so it ignores that substitution, otherwise it substitutes the final form. Next, what it does is it ignores any time where there's a final form followed by a space or bar. Otherwise, if any type of letter occurs before the final form, it gives you the medial form. Next, if there is a space or a bar, it changes the final form to the standalone form. Now it's occurring basically before or after a space and before nothing or a space or whatever, just as long as there's a space before it. So you can't start off with an initial form. It's going to always start off as final. And then finally, it takes the final form and turns it into an initial form when it comes before any letter. But again, it's only going to do that to the final form. At this stage, since we're ignoring before all of their letters, what was it? Was that the medial, right? No, I'm sorry. We're ignoring when it comes before space. That's going to give us the medial form, so when it becomes before all letters. Okay, there we go. So yeah, what about standalone forms at the beginning of the line, though? You can't get them. But I'm fine with that. Potentially. I got a way around that. Because basically Juliette Wade hasn't designed any punctuation for this. So because of that, if it happens to be the case that there are entire words that are just a single character and the standalone form should occur, I'll just create punctuation that comes at the beginning of the sentence and say, hey, do your standalone form thing when it comes after this punctuation too. So it's fine. Oh yeah, how long did it take for Castor the Narathian and Dodgeson? Weeks. Or less time than that. Not weeks, because I didn't have weeks. But, I was working on it between like 15 and 16 hours a day. Now I can only work on it between when I wake up and 5 p.m. and after my daughter goes to sleep and my will to stay up gives out. This isn't particularly late for me. I've been going to sleep at 4. I should log off right now. Certainly I'm going to finish this. But I should log off and go to sleep because it's just, been that kind of a day or week or month. I don't know. I haven't been sleeping the appropriate hours. Like, I really should go to sleep like between 2 and 2:30 and wake up at 10:30. That's when I'm at my best. I've been going to sleep a lot at 4, and that's just too much. So the thing that I have to do before I go to sleep is I got to message Juliette Wade and ask her if there are any entire words of this language that are just in the standalone form. By the way, in case you were wondering, with these substitutions, only one thing can occur after the word by. You can't have something turning into many, so you gotta be cute. All right. Bam. Code is done for now. Of course, one thing that we haven't even hit yet is that these characters have different different connection points. They don't always necessarily connect in the middle. So I think these forms always connect in the middle, but there are these alt forms that don't. And the question is, when should they be used? I actually don't know. Could you pretend those forms don't exist? Maybe you could. It's just that I liked this one, so. Also, this is kind of, doing this is kind of sloppy. This isn't what would happen, like, if this were written. That's what would happen right there. Be a loop. It'd look exactly the same as this one, though, so you couldn't do it. What font took the longest? That's a good question. Obviously, did take a long time. So did Thala, which was a font I created for Arena of Valor. And a font I created for a movie that's coming out in like 2 years or something. That one also took a really long time because there were a bunch of different like stylistic ligatures. Like there were regular ligatures because it was an abugida. There were also a bunch of different stylistic ligatures. They just kept coming up one after the other. But I really wanted them to be in there because it looks so good. It's far and away my best font, and I can't wait for people to see it. And there are other fonts on that film that are not as good, that I did not create. But they're fine. They're fine. All right. Okay, so code is done. So we can ignore everything else and remove all of this stuff and get back to actually making characters. For example, where's that M looking thing? Let's see if we can do that standalone form. I acknowledge that I should go to sleep, but I just feel like doing this. And obviously, there's a few. How do I open that? How do I open that without showing any of the... Ah, hey. Come on in. Ah, hey. How's old Tumblr doing? Is it still there? Here, I'm gonna pause this for 1 second. So, all right. It's Elvis, right? Go to sleep, dude. I'm recording this. You can watch it later. I'm also going to be doing this tomorrow. Anyway, somebody asked about the OVC font, so I just thought I'd show it to you. This is not, I just opened the font file. This isn't the way it's supposed to look. Like, do it normal. Like, I don't want all this stuff. There. So that's, there's some characters in this, but it's mostly copy and pastos. The thing that happened though is it isn't totally kerned. I felt bad about that, but I just ran out of time, and I hate kerning so much because it's the worst thing in the world. But let's see what the code looks like. There we go. Oh, damn. All right. Well, there's kind of a lot of stuff there. Why do I have capitals there? Oh, right, because there are capital letters in this for some letters. That's right. So for some of them, there actually are capital forms. Others there aren't. But the capitals are kind of like fake capitals. um, I'll show you what I mean. This is lowercase g, and as you can see, it has this nice little loop here, but it doesn't do anything right there. Uppercase G has a flourish. See, so it comes out like this. And so you use that at the beginning of a line. God, look at that. What is wrong with that? Oh, why is that like that? Explain yourself. That is, God, that is so frustrating. I think it's an artifact of the way this font was imported because I just opened it as a font, not as a file. Anyway. No, kerning is a nightmare. Kerning is an absolute nightmare. I don't want to talk about it. I like to pretend it doesn't exist at this stage of font making, all right? Because this part is fun, and kerning is just dumb and stupid. All it is just stupid stuff to make sure that your font doesn't look like a butt. Anyway, so forget who knew this or not, but I was originally designing this font, and I thought it looked very good. And the guys in the art department wanted it to look busier, so they had me do stuff to it that I wasn't necessarily happy with. One of the things was adding these moons. Just added them. Didn't think they should be there, but I added them. Also, these underlines for certain characters, L and R and D, got those underlines. And then what else? This stupid thing. God, they made it. They made this little hook, and so I was like, all right, I'll find a way to incorporate your little hook. And there's another one. Oh yeah, it's two stupid little lines. That was another one of theirs. I just threw it on there. I did it for like the worst possible sound. Oh. Yeah. I think maybe this one was mine. I can't remember. Anyway, that's that font. Back to this one. I want to do this one real quick. Here's M standalone. Excuse me, I just did something. They're kind of diacritics. I don't know. You just analyze the font and figure it out. I mean, it's an abugida, so sometimes it's, indicative of voicing. Sometimes it's indicative of the vowel, There's really not very many characters in that. What am I doing? Why isn't this? Why isn't? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Why am I not able to? Oh boy. That is the evolved version of OBC, and it got more complicated. Um, um, I'm So I'm not able to interact with this font anymore for some reason. How about this? Okay, maybe that fixed it. Oh, thank God. Jeez. Stupid program trying to kill me in my life. Okay, let's see what this looks like. $50,000 years? No, I doubt it. Man, 50,000 years. It's kind of depressing. I don't think anything that we're doing right now will be remembered. We don't even make cool stuff that's supposed to last anymore, like, like the pyramids. None of our stadiums will be around. They'll just get destroyed. So that's what that should look like. But what's it going to look like when it's medial? Where did my little dot go? Remember my little dot? Is that him? That's him, my little dot. That's right. Our TV satellites, how could I forget? Oh, how charming. All right, let's see. Oh, good, you do see a little indentation. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. Good, good, good. This is actually an alphabet. Not an abjad, it's an alphabet. By the way, has nobody made the meme-mime connection yet? Why aren't there, oops, why aren't there like mime memes, and why aren't they special? All right, let's see what this, yep, yep, yep. All right, so that's easy. Got this song by At the Drive-In stuck in my head. I'm not going to be able to get it unstuck until I listen to it or something else. That's a good question, actually. Is there a word for scripts that use a lot of ligatures? And I don't think so. Um, yeah, I don't think so. Huh. Probably should be. So one issue right now is that I don't know how how far these things are going to stick out. Oops. I want to copy this. So I'm just kind of sticking them out a bit. I'm sticking them out enough. And now that one's done. See? Should I do A since I was working on it so much? What does A look like? I don't want to do that. It's kind of weird. I'm going to have to create this shape eventually. It's you see what it's doing here. But I don't want to do it right now. I'd rather just work on stuff that I've already got down easy. Like this. This should be easy. Oh yeah, thank God this song this letter sequence got the song out. Now I'm thinking about a kick-ass song. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's got that lyric KLM is gonna rock you. It's popular in like the early 90s techno song. This reminded me of it because it makes me think of Morse code. All right, 2 dots. Where are you? H. Oh, there you are. Oh, but you're not in the right place. Shouldn't you be in the middle? Yes, you should. You should be right in the middle, my good sir. Doot, 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 doot. Is that middly? Yes, it is. What the hell, Rosado, you're still up. Go to bed. Come on, man. 9 a.m. class. That's no joke. What class is it? How the hell does it remind you of YYZ? It's an instrumental that sounds a whole lot like pretty much all of Rush's music. Is it the part? Oh no. Oh, what am I doing? These aren't R. How did I trick myself like that? It's H. Well, I hope you feel. I'm going to do it right now. This is. Oh, right, yeah. I think I just need to ignore these alt forms. I don't think they make sense. The medial forms make more sense. They just look less good, less clean. I don't like that. How's that its initial form? I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I had this issue with R from the beginning. That doesn't work. That's just not going to work for this. I think I'm going to turn it into U. It's either got to turn into U with a dot above or I with a dot below. Or the inverse of that. I don't think I want to do that. I honestly have no idea what the alt forms are for. I thought I knew, but I don't think I do. I think it's just a different style of font. The problem is all these things connect more cleanly at the midpoint, whereas these demand a low connection. Sorry about that. These demand a low connection, and nothing connects low. Some things can connect high, but nothing can connect low. And so it just doesn't make any sense. I think I got to give it up. I just liked the alt forms better. I don't think it's possible though. I think I got to give it up. That's a bummer. I'm gonna have to figure out this shape here. It shouldn't be hard. I know what I'm doing. This is dumb. It's all math. All of this is just stupid math. I know exactly what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm taking this. Where should I put this? Let's put on a copyright symbol for irony's sake. All right, what I'm doing is I'm taking this from 1500, and these are going to be here, right? And I just need to get from here to here with one curve. But how long? 750 is half 1500, but do I want 750 or do I want 500? Ugh. I feel like I want 750. I mean, I don't. That's for damn sure. I hate that as a number, but I feel like that's what's going to make sense. So smooth, unsmooth, smooth, unsmooth. You're the thing that needs to curve. Aha! To curve, my good man. Beep, beep, beep. So you go down straight. You go over straight. You go down straight. And you go over straight. And let's see where you should be. Okay. Let's try 400 since we were close to that. And then that would make you, it's not half. What is it? You want to keep a nice even 200 this whole way. Oh boy, makes it plenty skinny. So it's not 340. Let's back it up 30. And oh boy, we're losing like 10 pixels there. Let's back it up another 20. Oh, that is really close. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's back it up 5. These numbers are kind of tiny. Can you even see that? Zoom in. This thing should stay 200 the whole way. 201. 5 was too much. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's see what you got. Yeah. 200 the whole way. Oh, you have a good night too. That's what that curve should be. Let's do it. Let's do it. First of all, let's give us some variety with this thing. And there we go. Pixels, I think. The unit is pixels. Or isn't it? I don't know. Hell if I know. I always thought it was pixels, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a unit, you know? It's a ute. Let's, I think we can finish A now, can't we? Yeah. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. All right. Good. So that's what a standalone form looks like. The A final form has this gentleman. $100, $775. A thousandth of an M. Well, I guess if my units per M is 1,000, right? Is it variable like that? If I change my units per M, does it change what one of those things is? That is what that should look like. Now, initial A is the opposite of that, right? Yep, dot up there. And this gentleman. Hello, Dotsky. I am so going to listen to that KLM song. Well, now isn't this a sticky wicket? That should be there. And that should be at 1500. This should be at 1500. Why the hell is it not at 1500? Is this at 0? Oh my god, it's not at 0. Well, now isn't that interesting? I guess that means this should be here. Did I make it too close? I thought that. How does it? How is this not working? 1500, right? Does everybody see what I'm seeing? Like, this doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any damn sense. Holy shit. Am I, like, do you see what I'm saying? What the shit? Okay. All right. Why isn't this? Of course, that isn't even at 1500. But I suppose that doesn't matter. Well, those are pretty far apart, aren't they? It's because this goes to the midpoint. This doesn't. This should be shifted over 100. Like that. And now it's too thick, like the sausage it is. But that's too much. Oh boy. This might not work. We're going to try it, but I may need to change this. Oh, that's old. You can use whatever UPM you want. I change my UPMs at will. Most of the time I have them divisible by 100. But I've had fonts with UPMs everywhere from like 800, 900, 1000, 1100, 1200, 1300, doesn't matter. I don't need to worry about that anymore. All right, let's see what happens here. I export as true type, but this is open type. Wait a minute. Okay, and then for this final trick, should just do that and that. $600, right? Yep. Bam. Okay. I think that's going to do it for me. Let's set the side bearings to 0 for the time being. That's not gonna stick around because all these things are needing to have some overlap so that sticking them together works. And this fixed width, or a width that's going to make damn sense. But I'm not there yet. Actually, I wonder if B is simple. What's B look like? Yeah, I can do B. Let's do B. And it'll be done. Get it? It'll be done. Nice tall boy. What is this? Standalone? It's got a dot down there. Yeah, it is. You read up on what they say on UPM. The FontLab 6 manual is online. In fact, it's only online. I don't think there's a PDF version. So I think it makes sense nowadays. But yeah, they go into UPM size pretty well. Okay, next. The initial form has that dude. Let's do the initial. Huh? Why is this like that? Needs to go over. needs to do that. And then the final needs to do that. So let's do and that guy, and we're going to put it right there. That's what that looks like. And then for medial, it's going to look like that, but with that thing down there. Good. Oh, not that much. All right, so we got M, A, and B that are all done, and H. M, A, B, H. Let's see what it looks like. That's too big. What? 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 What is it? Hang on. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. Why do you do this? Now then, let's try that again. That's what I thought. All right. There, see? And then that's the final, see? And so you see how this thing is going to work? Now Kearney is going to fix the rest of this. So these things just kind of slide into one another, but I need to be very careful about how that works. But forget if I mentioned this in the last one or not, but this is kind of the problem with doing this type of thing. It ends up looking, at least it looks too long, in my opinion. And this is also going to be an issue. That H character, it's just going to look like lengthening. The reason it works with Arabic and S is because it's super long. There's only one character that does it, and wait, I think that was it. It's just it's super long, and there's only one character that does it. So you always know if it's a long, an extra long S. This is going to have several characters that do it, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we'll find out. Anyway, so it's an open question if I want to do this with kerning or if I just want to move the side bearings in 50. I may have to do both, just to make sure that it actually happens. Anyway, oh God, can I do that one? I can do so many of these now, can't I? What's the O with 2 dots? Yeah, I can do this one now. Oh, it's so tempted. Maybe just the O with one dot. Oh, about the connection. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, I could. Doesn't really matter. Um, but that's not where they're connecting. That's all going to be overlap, and it's going to have to overlap quite a bit um, because it doesn't. Word processing programs don't like it when you have characters that connect like in a line like that. So even if it looks perfect in the font program, they'll try to put in a little bit of extra space when you use it in a word processing program. And you have to compensate for that in the font, so you have to have that overlap. Otherwise, it just won't work. And I learned that way back with the Make Davy font, the very first font I ever tried to make. And that problem kept reoccurring until I figured out how to fix it. Definitely should go to sleep right now, but just let me do this. Maybe these should be higher. Well, that's an open question for later. Should actually make a line. I'm going to make a line right here. There we go. That'll make things easier. Beep, 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 beep. Don't do that. Don't put an extra node. Maybe that's where it needs to be. There. Whew. Last thing I want is a bunch of extra nodes. All right, that's final. But the initial looks like that. And the medial, is that the medial? Yeah. Well, well, a new problem has entered the arena. Isn't that nice? Unbelievable. First of all, is that at the right spot? No, it's not. 375, 475. What's the midpoint of 375 and 475? 150, 425. Okay, so midpoint of this should be 425. Is it? No, so it needs to be 25 over. Interesting. Very, very interesting. This is, I thought this was just going to be a quickie. That's indeed where it should be. Huh. Well. Yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, I'm not worried, just so you know, like, you don't have to watch this live. I just figured since it's not covered by an NDA, I'll just put it live. Incidentally, you notice that like this stream is called 14, and the last one was 13. That's because I've done 12 others. They just haven't gone up yet because they're still covered by NDAs. I haven't decided yet when, you know, the NDA is up, if I'm just going to post all of those at once, or should I just like delay each one and post one a week or something? I don't know. They're all there. I just need to switch them from public or from private to public. This is interesting. I'm going to have to think about this. I have to think about this quite hard. That's something. I'm not even going to remove that overlap. I'm going to leave that like that. Now, what was that thing that was important? Oh, whoops. The thing is, it doesn't look bad, but the fact that there is overlap here means that it's not right. It's like there's 4 pixels of overlap. There should be none. You know what this reminds me of? That logo for that company. I don't remember the name of the company, but it's the one that had the little jingle that went. It was like a film company that ceased to exist in the mid '80s or something. Anyway, so the thing that I had to ask Juliette about before I went to sleep, super important, so important that I had to ask before I went to sleep. What was that thing? That was it. That was it. Thank you. Yeah. And then I'm going to have other issues too. Now I've got practical issues with the font because there are things you can do with pen and paper that you can't do with a font. Because, I mean, logically, this doesn't make sense. That is, if this is supposed to be at the midpoint of this character, and this is supposed to be at the midpoint, and this is supposed to be at the midpoint, this should not be. It's just not that way. I mean, you can write it like that, but Mathematically, that doesn't work. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I stayed up like a full what, 2 hours past the time that I said I wanted to go to sleep. Yes, I did. Damn, I really didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Anyway, thank you for those that watched with me. We'll keep on with this probably sometime tomorrow. But as you see, once the coding gets done and once the questions get answered, this stuff moves along pretty quick. I mean, this is all just really copy and paste at this point. So that's no big deal. Good night to one and all. Have pleasant dreams.